Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Homesteading the Desert. In today's episode, we're looking at the seeds that I just planted 2 days ago on 11/8, and I want to show you how fast this system works. All right, I got up this morning, and look at this. Let me see if I can get down here closer. You see all the little sprouts coming out of the radish seeds already? They're all sprouted. The radish seeds are sprouted. The beets seeds have doubled in size, so they're getting ready to pop too. So the next day or so, I'll see little sprouts coming out of those. The Walla Walla onions, same thing. The seeds have all doubled in size. Remember how small and tiny they were. They're doubled in size. That means they've absorbed the water and they get ready to pop. Same thing with the Swiss chard. They're humongous. And the spinach. So the onions on this one here doubled in size. The only ones that haven't really done anything is lettuce and what was the other one? Oh, the lettuce and the spinach. Yeah, those two. They're not really jumping for joy here and ready to sprout, but within the next week or so, I should have all of these seeds sprouted and ready to transfer into soil pots and get them growing from there. I have to keep them inside where it's warm. I got up this morning and it was low 30s. 30 degrees was what was called for, but I saw 31 on this gauge. And you can see right now it's 69 with a 7% humidity. 1 mile an hour wind is pretty much non-existent. There's no wind blowing out there. You can see my plants out on the windowsill. They're not moving at all. So, let's see. What else did I do? Oh, yeah. All day yesterday, because I knew that we were going into a freeze. Not a deep freeze, but a freeze. I was draining all these hoses I got. This one runs out to the chicken coop, and I use it for cleaning over there. And putting water into a little swimming pool that they got in there. But I had to drain the water out just in case it got down to a point of freezing. I didn't want my hoses to pop. So those are all drained out. I also drained down my my rain barrels out back. I've still got to do this one up front. But I don't need any water right now. All right, the other thing I was doing, and I mentioned about adjusting pHs and things like that for growing. Well, that's not really a super critical, but if you want plants to grow well, having a perfect pH for those plants is a good thing. I mean, it really does help, and it makes a difference. And you can see white powder on everything in here, pretty much everything. And that's some nutrients for the soil. I put some Epsom salts and some drywall dust on all of this stuff. So I gave them some calcium. And I did the same in all of these buckets. And I've been adjusting the pH on these and getting them ready to accept plants. And let me see, where's my, there it is. Okay, this is my pH meter. And what we do with this is it's got a little probe on it. And you can see the gauge right there moving. And all you do is stick it in the soil. And look at that, I'm super alkaline on this soil. So I've got to adjust that and get it down to right about where the needle is now. 6.5 is what you want for most garden plants. Actually, most plants in general all like a 6.5. Although some like it a little bit more alkaline, some like it a little more acid. So what I'll have to do is I'm going to add something to the soil, some not chemicals, just natural ingredients, and I will drop the pH in this soil until I get it down to 6.5. What do we got over here? Same thing. They're all up high. Yep, they're all up at like 9. So I've got to adjust the pH down on all of this soil here. And once I get it down to right where the needle's sitting on there, I'll be happy and ready to put my plants in. If I go in with them too alkaline, although there are some plants that do like alkaline soil and they'll drink that up in no time, if I go into soil too alkaline, I'm not going to get good production on my plants. I can put this away later. It's hard to do one-handed. So another thing I did was I got some weights on here to keep the wind from blowing it away, and I cut one of the buckets. First I drilled 2 4-inch holes in the side with my hole saw, and then I made a little top section here that fits right over the pipe and gives me a covered area for where my float valve is. My float valve is right down underneath this little unit right here. So that allows me to get to the float valve whenever I need to without having to dig through dirt and soil and worry about getting dirt and stuff down inside of my gutter. I don't want dirt down in there to block anything, keep it from moving. All right, so I've got all my water barrels all filled, and everything's been watered, and I've got tomatoes set on here, as you can see. So the plants are happy. My little flower on my sweet potato vine is closing up here for the evening, I guess. So mostly every one of my tomato plants now have set. They've set fruit on them, and that's a good thing. So depending on how the weather is, the last 2 days have been windy. I mean, real windy. Today is beautiful, calm, clear, but a little bit brisk. It never really did warm up today. Of course, here I am walking around in shorts and a t-shirt, so don't pay attention to the way I dress. I wear shorts and t-shirts all the time. I think 370 days a year, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and if there are any days left over, I take the t-shirt off. All right. As you see, some tomatoes set here too. This one's resprouting a lot, and it's getting a lot more flowers on it. So we'll see how that goes. It looks like they're all in need of some water here because the wind's been blowing and drying things out. So as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to get to that. And as you can see, there's just about nothing going on out here with winds. I don't know how they're doing down the hill, but those poor people with the fires and the high gusty winds and all that stuff, just not real nice. All right, that's about all I have for today. The girls have been fed. The eggs have been collected. This is a Veterans Day weekend, and tomorrow is actually Veterans Day. Although it's celebrated on Monday. And just, it's amazing how they do that just so somebody can have a day off. But I celebrate Veterans Day tomorrow. And Monday, if I want to get out and work, I'll get out and work. So the observance is on the day itself, and that's the way I look at it. That's all there is. Beautiful day. Gonna get back into the swing of things day after tomorrow. And we'll really see some things changing here. G Bear signing off.